Hey everyone, welcome back to First Impressions of Runner 3 for the PS4. I got a review copy of this, and I feel like I've played a Runner game before, but I really don't know when, and I can't even remember what system it was on, but this is I hesitate to call it an endless runner game, which is what I think a lot of people will compare it to, but endless runner games are generally procedurally generated. And Runner 3 feels like it is put together, it is crafted and put together in such a way that it gives you exactly the experience that the developers were looking for at the time, rather than a random experience every single time. And that's very important because this is a game that is all about memorization, hitting the button at exactly the right time, making sure to kick that wall out at exactly the right time, and if you fail, you go back to the last checkpoint. That's one thing that I want to talk about real quick is you are going to fail in this game. There's lots and lots of different difficulty levels that they give to you, so you can change it up and make it easier if you want, but you're definitely going to run into levels that are extremely difficult. And what I would like is, instead of when you run into something immediately going back to the previous checkpoint, I would like to, you know what I would like? I would like a mode where I can go in and it doesn't matter how many things I run into, and I could just practice that level over and over again and have it not count towards any points or anything, and then be able to go in afterwards and do it for real. I think that would be a very good addition to this, because I felt like as I was playing, all too often I would take 5 or 6 steps and run into something and then do that over and over again. And that was a little bit frustrating, but the game is still really, really fun. The writing at the very beginning is hilarious. Whoever wrote that has a talent for alliteration. And I love alliteration. I think it sounds fun every time I hear it. So I really like the writing, and Charles Martinet does a great job voicing the game. The entire world is also animated really, really well. The graphics are really good, and I would say that every single object in the game is almost dancing to the beat of the music in the background. It's almost distracting, but it's also really cool. There's an amazing attention to detail. Captain in Video, he's wearing a pair of Chucks, and they have little 3s on them for Runner 3, which I think is very, very cool. Let's talk about the sound for a second. Right at the very beginning, the music was like non-traditional video game music, and it got me with this weird whistling that was going on. But then it gets a little more traditional when you're playing the actual game, which I was a little sad about. I kind of wanted this weird music that they were playing at the beginning, but this is really at its heart a rhythm game, and it's very important. The music is very important, and even though I was disappointed that they went back to a more traditional style, I found the music to be very good, and I enjoyed it. The sound effects are pretty decent. However, I would like it if, when Captain Video kicks through a door, if it had like a big crash sound, or if it used the rumble in the controller a little bit more on that kick. As it is, the rumble only kicks in when you die, and then it goes like bananas for a second. I had picked up my iPad and started writing something down about the game, and my character was running through and dying over and over, and my PS4 controller was sitting at my desk just vibrating like a madman. That was a little crazy. I didn't check to see if you could shut that off, but what I would prefer is that instead of having it vibrate when you die, just have it vibrate to the beat of the music or something. I'm not sure if that's something that would only be on a Nintendo Switch because of HD Rumble. I can assume that they could do something like that with the PS4, but maybe not. I don't know. Some of the levels in this game are really, really hard. They have... there's a whole lot of difficulty options, like I said. I never really got into the zone when playing the game. You know that moment when you're playing, let's say, Tetris, and you fall into the zone and everything else seems to disappear and the pieces almost feel like they're slowing down, and you know exactly where it is that you're going to put the next 5 pieces. You know that moment? I never got there in Runner 3. In Runner 3, I felt like I was always flying by the seat of my pants and barely hanging on. And even though the game feels like a rhythm game, I don't feel like I was pushing the buttons at exactly the right beats in order to jump, and that was a little confusing to me. There's a couple different ways that you can move around in the game. You can jump, you can double jump, you can slide, you can bounce, you can duck under stuff, and that's only the stuff that I've seen so far. So I don't know if there's more, but I really was enjoying what I was playing so far. It feels like this is a game that has a ton of replay value. Some of the levels have branching paths that you can unlock, so as you finish a level, it'll say something along the lines of gem branches unlocked, so you can play through again and you can switch to a different branch as you are running through the maze if it's unlocked, and try and pick up more stuff. And the reason you want to pick up this stuff is because as you play the game and you pick up this stuff, you can use it to unlock other levels. There was this one level that was very early on. I went there. It said I needed 150. No, yeah, I said I needed 150 gold. I didn't have 150 gold, so I went and did a couple more levels. Then I came back to do it, and because I had enough gold, I was able to go in, and it says, "Warning: this is impossible," or is it? And I tried it, and for me, it was impossible. Like, I could not accomplish it. Of course, I hadn't lowered the difficulty yet, and that's something I do have to talk about. Eventually, I did have to lower the difficulty a little bit because I felt like, I'm not sure if it has something to do with my PS4 going into a capture card on my computer and then going to my monitor, which I don't know if I had on game mode or not. But I felt like there was a little bit of delay, a slight bit of lag. And I don't think it had anything to do with the fact that I'm on a wireless controller, because that's never been an issue for me. But then again, this is not the type of game that I usually play. And I also have a non-traditional setup. I wonder if this game would work better on just a regular TV and not having it hooked up through my computer. I'm not positive. There's only one way to check, and that would be to unhook everything that I have, and that's a huge hassle, so I don't want to do that. I'm sorry. Like I was saying before, there's lots and lots of replay value in Runner 3. There's characters and outfits and capes to unlock, and of course there's different branches to unlock and different levels that you can go back and do earlier on. And while I don't have a lot of time with the game so far, everything that I have played so far has been really fun and enjoyable, and I'm looking forward to checking out more of Runner 3 for the PS4.